We don't know how the universe began. We think that we have a good idea that the universe in its present form came from a singularity, which the physicists, cosmologists call the Big Bang. And that may have been one episode in a long sequences of fluctuating universes or many universes. We just simply don't know the answer. And to go to the ancient sources, the idea of an artificer, of a carpenter who made the universe, is a very natural and understandable thing to do. Human beings are very narrative in the way that they try and explain things. But the truth of the matter is it doesn't explain anything.
The atheist cosmologist Alexander Vilenkin at the conference celebrating Stephen Hawking's birthday a couple of years ago said at that conference that all the evidence we have says that the universe had a beginning. Even in cyclical models, oscillating universe models, there has to be a finite number of oscillations in the series. So I think you can argue on good scientific grounds that in fact the regress of physical events in the past is finite. The first physical event needed a cause, and that couldn't have been the previous physical event because it's the first physical event. So you're pushed to some sort of unphysical cause of physical events.
No, I think that last jump, Peter, with respect to, is the one that where we may find disagreement, because it is certainly an hypothesis, and it's a respectable one, that the universe does have a beginning at some point in the remote past. That if the universe needs a creator, why can't it be its own creator?
Because of this issue about the contingent and caused nature of physical realities and physical events, why not say, why do you need to invoke any physical causes for anything at all if you're going to say physical things can be their own explanation? And because you can't have an explanatory infinite regress, you have to have a first term, as you say, that doesn't require itself explanation. I think that the real debate is over what is the nature of that thing that doesn't require explanation. Is the best candidate physical reality, contingent, finite in the past and so on, or is the best candidate something like the concept of God?
There does seem to be a logical fallacy in play here, the fallacy of composition, which is that every individual event or thing in the universe requires a cause, it doesn't follow that the universe itself requires a cause. This is like saying that because a whale is a whale and another whale is a whale, that the school of whales is a whale, and that's just a fallacy. If you think about theological or religious explanations for things, all of them seem to have an ancestor in the idea that we can't explain things unless agency is involved. And this is a projection from our own experience as agents, that we're able to initiate causal chains of events. And so we assume, for example, that the universe must have an agency behind it.
I don't think there's a fallacy of composition there any more than saying, a wall that's made up of bricks is therefore a brick wall. A universe that's made up of contingent events is therefore a contingent reality.
I mean, a wall made of bricks is not a brick.
It's not a brick, but it is it a brick wall? Its nature is still brickish, rather than suddenly, because you put lots of brick together, you get something of an entirely different nature. I think putting contingent things or caused things together doesn't suddenly buy you an uncaused thing. And certainly if you look at the Kalam version of the argument, the key thing there is that there's a first physical thing or event.